All right, next up, we're talking what I think is pronounced possibly just DJO.
Or oftentimes D's are silent, so it could be Joe.
Oh, it might just be Joe.
But he's clearly playing off the DJ thing. It's you looked for a way like something that would show you how to pronounce it.
I know, I was looking for like an interview or like a review on YouTube, like anything where they would say the name. But
Joe Keery, please get in touch. We
yeah,
want to
please
know.
let us know how to pronounce it. I think maybe you're right and it's Joe. I was saying DJO. But anyway, it's Joe Keery, plays Steve on Stranger Things, and does music. His first record was pretty awesome. Reminded me a little bit of Air and their Virgin Suicides soundtrack
Oh,
and some
okay.
other
I
stuff.
haven't heard it, but yeah.
And now he's back with a new single called Gloom. And I have a lot to say about it. What about you?
I mean, I'm not taking as many notes as you, but I'm happy to talk about it. I did love it. I thought it was a throwback for sure.
Oh, yeah, I wrote down, Talking Heads, Devo, Flock of Seagulls, Billy Idol, maybe even a little bit of Bowie.
A little Cars, maybe?
Definitely some Cars, yeah, a lot of that. But just like Willow, still pushing it forward, not just saying, like, I did an 80s song. Here it is. It's 80s. No, this does sound like a new song from 2022 that has that influence behind it, but still brings it home in a new, interesting way.
It's funny because, okay, so we are just talking about the novelty aspect of Carly Rae Jepsen's song. Recently, we were talking about Charlie XCX and the sort of humorous, the way that artists are bringing in humor in like songs that aren't satire or parody. And I think this is another song that does that really well.
Totally,
It's a
yeah.
funny song.
Yeah, does he say, go fuck your mother, go fuck yourself?
I think so. Yeah, there was something like that. And the like talkie part where he sounds like David Byrne.
Yeah, yeah, definitely some talking heads in there. And this and that, so I'm ready to go, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm ready to go. Like, yeah, it was a fun song. I instantly wanted to listen to it again. Also, for the production heads out there, stereo bass.
The bass I definitely wrote down that like it was a bass synth or just like a
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's maybe layered up.
Okay.
But you don't typically hear a bass in stereo. In fact, we were just having a conversation about this the other night with somebody, and it's always straight up the middle, a bass. Yeah, I can think of a couple. All the good girls go to hell by Billie Eilish has like stereo hard pan bass and is like a super untraditional thing to do, but really works for that track. And same here. There's like some really driving, not fuzzed out, but some distorted bass going on, and it kind of sounds like there's two of them panned left and right, and it really drives the song.
Yeah, I definitely noticed I don't have the necessarily the language for I'm just like the bass is different and cool.
Yeah, that's all you need. It's different and cool.
Also his delivery, it's kind of you see it a lot in his acting too. It's like this shouldn't work.
Yes.
But he sells it.
Yeah, he has a confidence and a funness about him, if that's a word, that you just buy in. You can't help but buy in. I think it's why he works on the show, and why he maybe wasn't, but something why he wasn't planned to be in the whole show, and but everyone liked him, and his music has. You're right. It has that same quality where you can't help but like it.
I think the first time I only recently found out that he did music. The first time I heard of that, and then I saw like the image. It's like that weird.
Yeah, his profile image on Spotify.
It's like his face is in. It's like on fish eye or something.
It's very 90s.
Very 90s. And I saw that and I was like, well, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like that is probably a funny thing.
And he's got like a mustache and long hair. He looks
Yeah.
like the third BG or
I
something.
was like, yeah, I could see. I've seen him in interviews. He's got that silly energy, likable thing. Like, okay, he's doing almost like assuming it was more of like a throwaway on his name. Pretty much everyone who's been on Stranger Things has an album. So.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like it's some sort of alter ego, different persona. You know, he has that like mustache and wig, and I was watching a live video where he had the same thing, and I think it's a really cool thing to always hang on to, which is that whole, you know, you can be this different persona, and is maybe a deliberate attempt to separate it from like, I'm Joe Keery from Stranger Things. It's Steve. Hey, Steve has a song he sings, you know?
Yeah, and the weird name helps with that too. And it's not Joe Keery
Yeah.
or DJ Joe Keery.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not anything like that. And I, if you haven't heard the song, check it out, but also his first record. I mean, it's a fun thing. It also reminded me a little bit of some Tame Impala vibes, which I know he said was kind of an influence. So if you like Tame Impala, check out that record. It's called 2020, and it came out in 2019. I guess he didn't know what was to come. But yeah, Gloom was cool. Now there was another song with Gloom, and whoops, I didn't write that down. What was that called?
I don't know.
So,
It wasn't that great. Comparatively.
Really? See, I liked it, and that one is more what his first record is like. That song is called Change.
Yeah, I've only listened to it once. I just know that when I listened to Gloom, I really liked it right away. I mean, all the 80s references were really fun in it. Maybe that was part of it. And then I listened to, what's it?
Change.
And it didn't grab me. So it could be a grower.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm really interested to hear how this album sounds. I hope it has more songs that are faster and fun, like Gloom is. And I also think the art is really odd and cool.
Art is fun with like the keyboard keys.
And just the old, you know, it has this sort of film to it, this sort of grain to it, where it maybe looks like it'd be an old vinyl you find in a record store. I'm like, what is this? Oh, it was like the bassist from the Eagles had a side synth project or something, whatever.
Just like we were saying how Neil Young has that synth album.
Oh,
we were just talking
yeah.
about that, and we're just like, what? This exists?
Yeah. The Neil Young synth pop album Trans from the mid 80s, maybe. Check it out.
So.
It's actually pretty interesting.